Before this video starts, I'd just like to say that this was originally recorded as, just one whole thing, but it was taking a while and I realized that I still needed to edit it down. So here we are, part 1 of 2 for tests. I hope you guys enjoy, and see you guys at the end.
Okay, we've been studying for the past few weeks, been memorizing all of our notes. We got this.
Students, you may now turn over your papers.
I literally just...
So, is it just me, or are tests pretty difficult? And, okay, so I mentioned this before, but I have now finished my high schooling and I'm taking a bit of a break before I, start the next chapter of schooling, which I believe is university for me. I don't know. It's been like a seesaw, for lack of a better term, when it comes to me in education. Because when I was younger, I definitely had this sort of drive to do better in my education, and I did good. I received like A's, I received like high grades and all that. But then it changed when I moved schools. And not in the sense that like I changed motivation and like I just like, oh, I moved schools so I don't have to try as hard anymore. I just feel like it became very different for me when I moved schools because it wasn't just about grades anymore. Let me explain. In my earlier years when I moved to Australia, I was in 2 different schools, with one of which I graduated recently, and the other of which I was in for until year 8, from year 1 to year 8. So, that was my sort of growing up here in terms of like studies, and it's 2 very different experiences because one of them I feel like was sort of more laid back in terms of studying, and not that I didn't try as hard as well, but I feel like when I was doing my studies in that and I was competing against like sort of the 2 or 3 smartest people, I was more cruising along in life. Have you ever heard the term gifted student? I, growing up, was told that a lot. Like, wow, they're very smart and they do very well in their studies and they're excellent and all of that. They get A's and they're a high grade student and they're probably gonna get really far. But I feel like subconsciously that added a lot of pressure onto me. Because every time that I didn't receive an A or I didn't receive anything that was like 90 and above, I would feel disappointed in myself. Not because I didn't try as hard, but because whatever I did, even if it was my best effort, wasn't enough. And it's ironic enough that now that I've newly graduated, my course is no longer something for academics, but something in the creative field. I definitely enjoy doing things creatively. Obviously, you see here before you an animation, but I've always been interested in the creatives, especially since I was younger, and I'm surprised that I didn't see it soon, because I was raised mostly paying attention to grades. And you're told that, oh, you have to be the best at math, and you have to be the best at sports, and you have to be the best at science and English, and basically anything that has to do with school, just be the best at. And any extracurricular things as well, you have to join that as well, because it's part of your schooling, and it'll help you and be beneficial for you. And I didn't mind it. There was some extracurricular stuff that I did enjoy. I took piano as an extracurricular thing, and I passed grade 1. Never went past that, though. And then I did swimming. I did a whole bunch of sports, really. I did swimming, I did basketball. Yeah, I did a whole bunch of things when I was sort of growing up in terms of studying, and I never really had to deal with being creative because there's no point of that. It's not going to get you money. As a kid, you're mostly told up, you're mostly grown.
Have you ever had a dream that that
You're mostly growing up being told that you should become a lawyer, or you should become a doctor, or you should become this, you should become this person that has a really, really well-paying job, because you want to be able to support yourself, you want to be able to have enough money for yourself when you're older, and all of this sort of stuff. But I don't know. I definitely did do that, but I was one of those people that at any given point, if you could give me a way to get out of it creatively, like any assessments and all of that, I would do it. I remember this one time that we had to present in front of the class. Actually, this happened twice, but I'll tell you the first one and then I'll tell you the second one. The first time that this happened, I believe we had a science project that we had to do. And we had the option to either give it as a presentation to the class or, present it as a video. And I believe if I look it up, let's see if it's still there. Oh, it is. Hold on, wait. I think this will be funny. If we just boop. Yeah, if you go look at my YouTube channel right now, I still have it up here. It is from September 15, 2017. I did a science, ecology, and relationships. And basically, that was just me getting away from having to do a public speech in front of the classroom. I don't know. Like, I knew that everybody in the classroom was one of my peers. And it was funny enough that, I don't feel nervous when I speak to a group of people, but put me in front of, a stage or something and I will want to throw up. It's happened before. Not throwing up on people, but, I give a speech or, I do public speaking, and then immediately after, I'll run off to the bathroom to go do things. But yeah. That was the first instance that happened, and I think it was me and one other person. We had decided to do the assessment that way, like in a YouTube video. And I had to give the teacher our YouTube link so that it wasn't some sketchy site or video or something. And it was kind of funny because my teacher at the time was not tech savvy at all and didn't understand how to work a computer. So it was mostly me just plugging in one of the school laptops and getting it up to the projector and all this type of crazy stuff, and it was funny. But that was one of the sort of more recognizable moments, I think, that instead of doing the normal thing, I did my own thing. Another example that I did recently was for an assessment during the lockdown. One of the things that we had to do in our English subject for the year was, because of lockdown, we couldn't do face-to-face presentations, and the assessment did call for one where we had to present in front of the class a sort of a topic, I think, based on this movie called The Castle, which is basically an Australian suburban movie that is about, this small suburbia family that's against the government because the government wants to procure their land for the airport. It's a really good watch. It's really funny, and if you do have access to it, I definitely recommend it. Go give it a watch. But yeah, so for that, instead of doing a face-to-face presentation because COVID and everything, we had to do a video presentation, and lo and behold, I excelled in that. I got 1 mark off from getting a full A. I think I got 17 out of 18 or 15 out of 16. I can't quite remember because I missed out the point of talking about how their story linked to Australian colonists and the indigenous Aboriginal people getting kicked out from their land and stuff, and I'm kind of annoyed about that, but we had 5 minutes to talk about the whole entire thing, and I kind of went in depth about the topics that I already went into. So if you guys are interested in that, and if I can actually find the video itself, I might post it, who knows. So yeah, I feel like it was a very, very good video essay for what I did, because I did it in a night. I did it the day before it needed to be submitted. So, yeah. The video itself, not the actual research and making the essay and script and all of that. I mean, when it comes to tests, what comes to mind? I usually think of like just final exams, doing like learning all the content, late night studying. Oh, that's a thing that we can talk about. So when it comes to tests, I know that people have the tendency to study late night. And not late night as in, oh, they're night owls and they'll continue to study throughout the night and all of that and wake up in the morning like looking like they need 5 cups of coffee or whatever. Because I've had friends that look like that. Not that they need 5 coffees, but they've stayed up all night and needed coffee in the morning. Yeah, but when it comes to tests and stuff, I usually think of people who pull all-nighters the night before the test. And I don't know if this is a common thing, but it was such a common thing in my year because I've had like people messaging me in like when I wake up in the morning because I'm an early riser. So I'll wake up at like 3 or 4 a.m. just to study and like catch up on my notes. But I've had people who message me at night at like maybe 11 or 12 p.m. while I'm sleeping. And it's like, hey, do you have the notes? Or hey, are you awake? Can we study? And I'm like, boy, I'm dead asleep. What do you mean? I can't help you. So I don't know. I don't know if it's common. I know that some people definitely do prefer studying all of that. But I also don't understand how some people can just study in the given time period slowly. Because I'm one of those people that I don't do it at the very last minute, like the night before. I just did I mostly do my projects last minute. But if it comes to like studying for tests, I try to do it the week before. Not 2 weeks, because that's a lot. And I work better when there's like a certain pressure given in my work, if you get what I mean. Yeah, I don't know. So, that's the end of test part 1. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is really new for me. I've never done anything like this before. If you guys wanted to go see the live version of this recording, get a little sneak peek of part 2 maybe, you can go see that over on twitch.tv/catcrazy339. We do art there, we chill, we just hang out and listen to cool, chill, fun music. It's a little scuffed sometimes, but we're trying to get it sorted out. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video, I suppose. If you guys liked me sort of rambling, then sound off in the comments. If you guys want it to be a bit more structured, maybe have some dot points pre-prepared and then sort of do it that way, then also sound off in the comments, I suppose. And if that's everything, which I'm pretty sure it is, stay cool, kittens. DIFTL.